Hi everyone, this is Penguin Trades, and this is a review for the ES and NQ futures for September 5th. Starting off, we're going to go over the ES, and then we'll flip over to the NQ after. So this is our overnight high, and this is our overnight low. These are our key levels for the day. I started trading at 8 Central Time, which is this area right here. Now, starting off, notice we have this spike up, push back lower here, already retesting the overnight low, and then we start this trend up from here. Now, I don't really view this as a clear two-legged move up because it did nearly make a double bottom at the overnight low, which is a major key level. And so it's just pushing up here, starting its new trend. And so, I'm not going to be concerned with this second leg up reversing at this measured move right here. Again, it pushed back lower, coming off this major key level here, almost a double bottom. I just view this as its new trend right here. This is basically just a symmetry move before taking off. And so anyway, we push up here, and then we get this two-legged break. Now, when you come off one side of a range, you can expect price to attempt to reach the other side. And so this is really a great place for a failed second entry, and that's what you have here. First entry short, second entry short, failure. Now, this uptrend has a break. You can expect prices to attempt a new high. You can notice here limit order, slight limit order due to the overnight high right here. You don't want to expect price to just push on through there. It is a key level, so you want to expect price to bounce off of it. And so that's why you need to use a limit order if price has to go through it. And so anyway, again, we have this uptrend, two-legged break, expecting a new high, bullish reaction, pushing back above the EMA with room to the overnight high. So we push up here at this new high, at the overnight high. Price attempts to reverse, but it's held up by the EMA and also this wider trend line that's forming. And so then here, we push up again, get another reaction off the overnight high, push lower here, much sharper reaction this time. This actually breaks the channel. So now we have uptrend, break, and we can expect price to attempt a new high. Now this is a competition area between the bulls and the bears because, so for the uptrend, it has a break, which means the bulls want to make a new high. However, we're also in this range right here, and the bears want to push off and reach the lows. This is how range rules work. When you come off one side, you can expect price to reach the other side. So this is a competition area. You have to stay with whatever price ends up being most prevalent with. So after this break right here, if we get two attempts at a new high, that means we could look to get in on the failure at a new high for this uptrend. So uptrend, break, first attempt higher, second attempt higher. That would basically be played out. Even if it doesn't make a new high, you still have your two attempts, which means you can look to get in on the failure. And so, again, common reversal area. It would be a great place to get something like that. However, in this case here, price just makes one sharp push up here, making another leg up. So we have this two-legged move here. First leg up, break, second leg up. Uptrend, break, new high. So at this point, the uptrend is played out with a break and a new high, which means that we can easily get a reversal. A reversal back down, retesting the overnight high. That's one possibility. First, I just want to show this trend line right here. At first, this trend line was right off here. If you're in an uptrend and you're breaking out of the overnight high, it is very common to get reversal patterns within the uptrend, and you can take a short within the uptrend. You just need room to the lower trend line, and you're still so close to the overnight high, tons of capacity to fade. You absolutely can look for a reversal pattern within an uptrend like this. You just need room. In this case here, there's not much room. If it had pushed lower here and started pulling back, you would not have had much room to the trend line, but just saying. So anyway, we push lower here. Now that we're breaking it, so uptrend has a break, we can expect price to attempt a new high from here, because clearly, even though we have these two legs here, there is a wider channel forming. You can just tell by looking at it. Excuse me, my voice is going. So here, only have one attempt to fade. There's no way to get in on this push up to a new high because we only have one attempt to fade. When you break out of an overnight level, you want to see two attempts to fade before buying the breakout. Even though this uptrend, you can expect a new high, that doesn't make up for the fact that we only have one fade attempt. So anyway, nothing to take here. If we push up and get a couple legs back, making a failed second entry, then absolutely we can look to continue, going long. This measured move is still in play after all, but it just doesn't happen. We push up here, make this double top, and start pushing back down. Notice we get this first leg down, second leg down. As soon as this swing forms, you can look to extend the trend line to it just to see how price holds. And very clearly, we get a reaction. Nothing worth taking, but just goes to show, as the trend line gets these pierces through it, you want to look to extend it just to see how price reacts. And so we push on lower here. fading the overnight high. Very successful fade. It just shoots on through. So at this point here, now one thing I always talk about is price action levels getting bigger picture in real time, and being able to spot it in real time. And and as more price action forms, you combine structures together to get bigger legs. For instance, this leg here, break, and then a second leg here, right? On a bigger picture, it's all one leg. You can see here, first leg, break, second leg. And this second leg is of two much clearer two legs there, but it's still two legs on a bigger picture. And so anyway, as we push lower here, this is the first price action level attempting a new high for this uptrend. Now, this is a very small picture, 2 attempts at a new high for an uptrend of this size, because this is just a big uptrend break, and these are just very tiny attempts compared to the size of this. However, the uptrend is not the only thing to consider here. The overnight high, the overnight range right here, we can expect price to reach the other side of, because when you fade a range, you can expect price to reach the other side. The bears want to push on lower and reach the overnight low and continue the fade down. The bulls want to make a new high for this uptrend. At this point here, clearly the bears are winning out as they're pushing lower and lower into the overnight high. Just, it's not making any real push-ups to, make a new high. It's just down, 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 very bearish bars all the way down, getting very far from the EMA. And so then here, when we finally get 2 attempts, they're small, but they're, still significant. You can, they're the first real pushes up in a while after this push lower here. And so this is our first 2 attempts at a new high here, and it goes along perfectly with the fade. And so the measured move is met. I just want to mention, I want to go over these measured moves for a sec. You'll notice that sometimes you have to adjust around your measured moves to see right where the perfect reactions are. So notice here, this first leg up, break, and then the second leg up starts right off that body, and we get a perfect measured move. Very often on measured moves, there will be a lot of extra wick that won't really matter towards the measured move. Sometimes it'll react perfectly right from the wick. You just have to adjust it around and see. Basically, if you don't get a reaction, then it's not valid. If you get a good reaction and you start to push lower, then you can absolutely look for an entry. It's not, don't overthink it. Sometimes the second leg of the measured move are going to start stemming from the wick. Sometimes they'll be stemming from the body. Like from here, notice this small one here, 2 legs down, second one from that body, very perfect reaction right there. As soon as it touches it, it just pushes higher. Same thing with this larger measured move. Perfect measured move reaction. There's just oftentimes extra wick. Now, like for instance, notice how these bodies here are lower than these bodies, and these are the the beginning of these 2 legs here. However, the wicks are a double top, but really it's not a double top. It's just these 2 legs down here, because bodies are bigger picture than wicks. That might sound strange if you've never heard that phrase, but they are, because bodies are about where price closes and opens. Wicks are just about where price quickly goes and retreats from. And so that's why often the measured moves will, the bigger measured moves oftentimes will stem from the bodies on the second leg. So anyway, I kind of lost where I was. Where was I? That's right, this area here. So downtrend, break, we can expect price to attempt a new low. It's confluent with the uptrend and the fade. So we continue on lower here, we reach the overnight low, and then as we reach it here, price overshoots this channel, which I forgot to mention. At first, this channel was obviously more like this, right along with this push down, overshoot, and then this right here was retesting that part of the channel right here. However, as we continue lower here, we can look to extend the channel, extend it to that swing, and then we overshoot again right here. So overshoots, and also, sorry, one more thing I want to mention. So overshoots tend to lead to breaks, but in this case here, we got our 2 attempts to reverse, and it's clearly giving us a bearish reaction here. So that's why I wasn't concerned with that, because we already had our 2 attempts. It already exhausted it. So anyway, extend the channel to here after it continues lower here, and then we overshoot again at the overnight low. Now the overnight low is a major key level, very common reversal area, and overshoots tend to lead to breaks. So this is why I skipped this right here. So overshoots tend to lead to breaks. In this case here, the channel obviously recovers, but I just would have wanted to see another attempt at a new high. Obviously with this channel at the exact angle it's at, that would be a little bit difficult, but with this uptrend, you have a break, attempt at a new high. It doesn't make a new high, it just makes a double top with the wick, and even with the bodies, it's lower here. So it's not really played out, and just considering that overshoot and the fact that we're off of a major key level, I would not immediately want to go short right there. So I did skip that. We continue on lower here. Now, I don't like this short right here, but I just, you can see those arrows there. As soon as price breaks out of the overnight low, price has 2 attempts to fade before continuing on lower. So, obviously it's very small picture right into that trend line. I didn't like it, but it just goes to show price action holds the same, bigger picture and small picture. So anyway, we continue on lower here, and then we get this push up, reaching this trend line right here. So, which I did, at first I had the trend line like this as I showed, and then I moved the high to that swing there because there was some sideways action from these two, this push down and then the push higher. And so I extended the trend to there just to see how price reacts off of, stemming from there, right off of this swing. And then I ended up leaving it there for the rest of the time. And so anyway, we have this downtrend, and then notice here we get this break, and price, you can expect price to push down to a new low. First attempt lower, and then this is the entry on the second attempt lower. Now, starting from here, this is clearly a failed second entry. From this top, we have first entry long, second entry long, failure. So failed second entry, second attempt lower for the downtrend, and then also on the other side of the count with this uptrend right here, we have uptrend, break, first attempt at a new high, and then second attempt at a new high, failure. And so great place to look for a short, expecting a new low for the downtrend. And then even, if you extend the trend line to the, to that swing, all that does is just continue going along with the shorts. It's holding below still. And so great place for short. This was 1 tick limit order, just due to the fact that there was some resistance right here, or I should say support, but not too bad. Like, you only have this one swing here and then a wick reaching it there, but I still wouldn't want to push it too far through, so 1 tick limit order. But anyway, we push through here, immediately start fading back up. One thing I want to mention with this right here was the target was also within the measured move, which is also why I didn't mind pushing it through the range low a little bit. But anyway, so we reach the measured move, price immediately starts reversing higher here, and then notice here that we push up, we have this uptrend, break, and price has made a new high. Now, we're clearly reacting off of these highs right here, very bearish reaction. This looks good to ride down to the other side. However, I did miss out on this. So draw this up here with a stop. Obviously, you'd have to push it way more further out than I would be comfortable with. This is a limit order trade for sure, but I did miss out on this, unfortunately. I just wasn't quite paying attention at the time. So anyway, we push on lower here. Perfect measured move met. Immediately reverses right at that measured move. Sharp push up here, great place for a reversal pattern higher. What I'd like to see is a push above and then 2 legs retesting the high of this channel right here, or this range right here. But that's not what happens. It just pushes above and starts chopping right on top of it. And then here we finally get these couple legs down. You can see downtrend, break, first attempt lower, second attempt lower, kind of just starting to form a downtrend here. So anyway, let me just go over what I just went over. So downtrend, break, new low, the downtrend is played out, price is reversing higher, great place for a reversal pattern. We have uptrend, break, new high, because you can see here, at first you have uptrend, break, and then this is your new high, and then this is your reversal attempt, okay? So typical trend play out, break to a new high, reversal. This reversal was unsuccessful. It was held up by the range high and the EMA, and so we continue higher. That creates a wider channel. Now this reversal attempt is the break for this wider uptrend. You see what I'm saying? So now we have this uptrend, and this is our break. Since the reversal was unsuccessful, it just becomes a bigger picture break. Now we have uptrend, break, new high, and then price pushes down into a reversal. So let me extend this channel. It's been a while since I traded. I had to do something after I finished before making this video. And so then here, we push on lower here. We get this first entry long, second entry long, failure, clear, failed second entry, holding below this range right here. Very clear reaction, good bearish reaction. This looks great for a short. Unfortunately, again, I was not trading at this moment, so I did miss that, but this absolutely looks good. If you got this, this is definitely good on you. right as this uptrend had a break and a new high and played out, price pushed down into a reversal pattern. Now, one thing I want to mention is this downtrend here has a break and a new low, but on that reversal, price was unable to get back above the range high and the EMA, not to mention just the bearish bias of the whole day. So that's why I like this right here. Great looking trade, 1-to-1. And yeah, let me get this exact. I always draw these off sometimes, and it always bothers me. So anyway, we push on up here. It doesn't last very long. It ends up just reversing, not even before reaching that low, which is honestly a little bit disappointing. But you know, sometimes stuff like that happens. Still a good looking entry. There's a reason we go for these targets and don't push them too far. But clearly something came into the market here and is pushing prices higher. So anyway, also one thing I just want to mention here is so on here, after this downtrend has its break and a push to a new low, this is the reversal, kind of like the concept I was explaining with this uptrend here. Since this reversal was unsuccessful at first, you know, because it had the uptrend break, new high, and then pushing back below, it becomes a bigger picture break, and then you're just looking to make a larger new low. And that was, of course, you know, had to do with this right here. So anyway, we push on up here, go into these two big legs, way past measured at this point. So this is a great place to get a couple legs back. Oftentimes, if you push back, or not push back, push past a measured move, what price will do is make a couple legs retesting that level, and that's a great opportunity to continue going long. And so anyway, I'd like to see it push up a bit more first before getting two legs. That way we can get two nice, clear, large legs down retesting. But, you know, we'll see what happens. I'm going to hop over to the NQ now. We're already almost 17 minutes in, so I might make this one a bit faster. So anyway, again, overnight high here, overnight low down here. These are our key levels. Started trading at 8 Central Time. This area here. So our overnight low was lower down here. You know, on the ES, the overnight low was within all of the other swings of the overnight. In this case here, we had this range and then a breakout and then price fading back in. And so when you break out of a range, you can look to fade back in, get a long to fade back in. But in this case here, after spiking back in, price pushes back out, closes below, starts to struggle to get back in, clearly reacting to this trend line right here. And then it just gets very sideways and ultimately offers no clear entries to get along. And so we just push on up here, we spike up through the overnight high, and then we get these two attempts to fade. So first attempt, second attempt. Notice again with the measured moves, second leg stemming from this right here. This wick actually made a new high, but it doesn't matter. Clearly you can tell this is a two-legged move, very good bullish reaction to it. So this is a good place to look for a long because you have two legs down, off of the overnight high, or excuse me, not off of the overnight high, off of the trend line. It's very common to mix up terminology when you make videos like this. So if I ever am pointing at something and I say something different, then I meant whatever I'm pointing at. So anyway, we have two legs down holding off of this trend line right here to the bullish side at this measured move, perfect measured move. The measured move ends right where those bodies start, and then we just start pushing up here. However, no fill, price never came back to reach you. You can't enter and expect price to push through the overnight high. Again, it's a major key level, so you have to use a limit order in this case, which results in a no fill. So anyway, we push on higher here, and then we reach up here. Now I'm going to remove this for a sec. So as you know, we had this slight overshoot. You can look to extend it since price held, continue on up here, and then we're getting another reaction off of this high up here. So we push up. This is a great place to get a couple legs back, get a couple attempts to fade to continue long, but we just spike on up, reach the high, get this first entry here, push up to a new high, another first entry, breaks through the overnight low. Excuse me, it does not break the overnight low, it breaks the channel low. Again, mixing up the terminology here. So we push through here, get the break. When an uptrend gets a break, you can expect price to attempt a new high, but we did just have this very sharp push down. Has a small break and an attempt at a new low, but that's not too significant. It's certainly not enough to take a long, so nothing to take there. If we push up, again, get a couple legs back, make a failed second entry, we can still look to go long, but it just spikes on up. Now we have uptrend, break, push to a new high. The uptrend is now considered played out, and we can expect price to attempt a reversal. However, we do also have to extend this channel right here due to that swing. Excuse me, my voice is gone. So we push up here, get these couple legs down. Obviously, you don't want to take this failed second entry right into the overnight, excuse me, right into the channel. I don't know why I keep mixing up the terms here. So first entry long, second entry long, failure. You don't want to take it right into this channel. And as far as long, if you get a clear reaction off of the key entry point and push above, then yeah, but you just don't get that here. You get this push up here before it reacts to it. It just pushes up before reaching the trend line, but that just means you can't take it. You have to wait for something else, which by the time we reach it again, it just pushes on through. So nothing to take there. We get the break. Now we have uptrend, break, and when an uptrend gets a break, you can expect prices to attempt a new high. I'm going to remove that channel there just because that was the extended channel. So uptrend, break, we can expect price to attempt a new high. However, we can also expect the overnight range to attract prices back down to it and try to fade. And so the bears want to fade, the bulls want to make a new high. Excuse me, my throat is just not working with me today. So we push lower here. This is a great place to look for a long. If we get a two-legged break for this uptrend, retesting the overnight high, what that would include is our two attempts to fade. So the two attempts to fade would be played out. We wouldn't have to be concerned with that. And then we could still look to make a new high for the uptrends. We would just need a good reaction pushing above the EMA, offering us a clear entry. So let me just draw this out as an example here. So if we could get something like this, a couple legs down, retesting the overnight high, that would include our uptrend, two-legged break, look to make a new high, and even if we don't get a clear long at this point right here, price could push up and form a smaller failed second entry like this. And then you can still look to continue to get a long with this uptrend. It's just a smaller entry if it doesn't offer one down here. You see what I'm saying? So uptrend, break, expecting a new high, push up into a failed second entry, and get a long from there. So that's what I would like to see, but in this case here, price just pushes on down, fades the overnight high. Now here, notice that we get these couple attempts to fade. Now, yes, you have this downtrend. This is a two-legged break, but it's a break, and you have your first attempt lower, and this is the start of the second attempt lower. On the ES, I'm going to hop over there. This downtrend, we got a two-legged break because this second leg pushes past that high. So downtrend, two-legged break, expecting a new low. However, on here, what we end up getting is after this downtrend, we get a break. We're already pushing down to a new low, and then this second push up here is below there. So it's not really a two-legged break. It's just your second attempt at a new low entry is entering very low, and you don't have a clear second leg up. So that's why I don't like going long. That's why I don't like going short there. So let me just draw this up here. Downtrend, break, first attempt lower, and then this is your entry on the second attempt lower. You're entering directly into the low of that previous move, which is just not good for a short, and especially when you have a measured move like this in play. So the legs are bigger here than on the ES, but on the ES you had a clear measured two-legged move. Not, this is just too unclear. You're already pushing down to a new low after barely breaking from that first push down, and you're entering directly into the low. So I would just want to see something clearer. It's not confluent with this uptrend. This downtrend has a break, first attempt lower, you're expecting to get on the second attempt lower. However, this uptrend has a break and only one attempt at a new high. And considering this measured move is still in play, price could very easily tick lower than this red bar and make a second leg up here. So, sorry, let me just unclutter this before I continue. So, and make a second leg up here. And what that could do is make a failed second entry from the high. So from here, first entry long, second entry long, and then look for the failure entry there. Since the wider measured move is still in play anyway, it's unlikely that this is a good short right here. That's why you want to wait for that extra leg, the second attempt at a new high for this uptrend right here. So I hope I explained that clearly there. I kind of feel like I'm all over the place today, but anyway, we push on lower here. Downtrend has a break, push to a new low, two-legged move down to the overnight low, barely misses it there before pushing up. Now with this wider channel here, it's off of these swings here. Drag it down to these lows, price starts reacting once it reaches it. Now we have uptrend, break, first attempt higher and then second attempt higher, but it's obviously way too choppy within this range right here. You don't want to take a short there. So anyway, we push lower a little bit, price pushes back higher, breaks out of this little range, fades back up. Now we get this push out, makes this double bottom right there. So it looks like there's a two-legged move up there, but it really did make a double bottom there. That's why I'm stemming this measured move from right there. So you have this two-legged move up. As soon as that measured move is met, again, the measured move stemmed from that body. You just got to adjust it to see where it fits best. And so as soon as that measured move is met, the bodies stop pushing up, pushes back lower there. Now this uptrend, price is coming off of the high of it while fading this little range right here at this measured move level while expecting a new low for this large downtrend break. So downtrend, two-legged break, we can expect price to attempt a new low. Perfect reaction to the measured move while fading this little range. Great place for a small trade just to reach the other side of this congestion right here. So anyway, that pushes us into this two-legged move down. So first leg down, second leg down, that second leg breaks this channel. Uptrend break, we can expect price to attempt a new high. So if we push up here and get a failed second entry, we can look to get along. But as you can see, price doesn't form that. It just pushes straight up to a new high, pushing back out of the overnight highs. So now these two legs up here, you can see this first leg break, second leg becomes just one leg on a bigger picture. And then you have this larger two-legged move up. The measured move is right at the overnight high. Great place for a reversal pattern. Now, because remember how this two-legged move up here was the two-legged break from this downtrend, and this was the push to a new low. This push down to a new low failed. It did not make a new low. It just failed, pushed back up here, and is pushing past that previous high. So this failure is forming an even bigger picture two-legged break. This downtrend is still in play. You can still get a new low for it, just off of a bigger two-legged break. So when a trend gets a break and it doesn't, and it doesn't play out, or even if it does play out, if it doesn't make a clear, sorry, let me just explain this clearly. Let me just back up for a sec. When a downtrend has a break and you get a couple attempts at a new low, if it fails to make the new low, it doesn't mean this is just immediately out of play on the failure. You have to look for the bigger structures that are forming. So these two attempts at a new low, which pushed lower here, obviously, as you can see, failed to make the new low, and then that failure made this second leg up, bigger picture, two-legged move. You can still expect a new low from the downtrend. You're just more likely to get a much bigger trade out of it. So if we push lower here, get a failed second entry, this is a great place to get a short. Again, downtrend in play, coming off the overnight high, right at that measured move. So you just got to learn how to spot it in real time. Price action structures getting bigger, combining structures, combining legs to make bigger legs. And I understand how it can be confusing at first, but it really is the best way to trade, in my opinion. So anyway, that's going to do it for this video. I'd like to see something like this, basically. Let me just draw this out here. So something like this, downtrend, couple legs back, making a failed second entry, pushing off the overnight high while expecting a new low for a much bigger downtrend here. So hopefully something like that happens soon. If price does continue higher, then what we'd want to see is two legs back retesting the overnight high. That way, you can get in on the failure to fade, and then that would just be, you would just need to look for a wider channel and see how it ends up holding. So anyway, that's going to do it for this video. I hope it helped out in some way. Just a heads up, on the 12th, there's going to be some construction and electrical work done in my home, and the power is going to have to be off for several hours starting in the morning that day. So I'm not going to be posting on the website that day or really doing anything for a long time that day. I'll try to do something at the end of the day, but just so you know, on the 12th, I believe that's Thursday next week, I am not going to be trading, and there's not going to be any, I'm not going to be running the website or anything. So it's just that my power is going to be out. So that's going to do it for this video. Hope it helped out in some way, and thanks for watching. I'll see y'all next time.